That sickness benefit bill is expected to rise to be 100 billion by the year 2029.
Yeah.
A quarter of working age people, 11 million in this country, have got no jobs.
We've got 10 million people not working in this country.
Yeah.
That's your employment market
Yeah.
there.
So we're now spending 65 billion a year on sickness benefits.
Yeah.
Do you know how much we spend on defence?
Less.
Correct.
All right.
60 billion. Do you know how much we spend on the police?
Less.
Correct. 20 billion. That sickness benefit bill is expected to rise to be 100 billion by the year 2029.
Yeah. Do you know why we have this problem? Started in the 80s. So in 80s, under Thatcher, we had terrible unemployment figures. To help control those figures, we then came out with something called income support. Basically, we said to people, tell us you're sick and we'll move you off unemployment, we'll move you into this sickness thing. You get the same amount of money, you don't have to sign on every 2 weeks, and suddenly our figures look good for unemployment. It started in the 80s, a way of trying to massage unemployment figures for the Thatcher government. And then once they created this new arm of benefits, it just increased. And the government never wanted to tackle this because part of the consequence of tackling it will be forcing people to claim unemployment benefit, which then makes the unemployment figures go up.
Rocket. Yeah.
So it's like, so it's all about massaging figures, and every government since has been willing to pay the financial price, so it looks like we've got low unemployment.
And that makes sense because the total benefits bill is 134 billion. So that suggests that 50% of our benefits bill is sickness benefits.
When we have, while at the same time we're spending more on the NHS, we have more new medicines, more new procedures. I know our NHS is failing, but it hasn't failed that badly that we're becoming sicker and sicker and sicker. It's an oxymoron that we can have free healthcare and we're becoming sicker and sicker.
Well, I think we've discussed these numbers. I'm just trying to find them now. I don't want to slow things down. But the number of people in this country who are out of work.
Last figures I saw was between 9.5 and 10 million out of work in this country. Correct.
So here we are. A quarter of working age people, 11 million in this country, have got no jobs. And of that, I'm assuming a lot of those are on sickness benefits.
A big chunk will be, yeah.
2.5 million of those people are under 25, basically. So that's part of the reason we have an issue. So when it says a quarter of working age people have no jobs, it means a quarter of working age people, not necessarily unemployed, but they may be on sickness or whatever. And that's how we're funding it, basically. Yeah. If those 10 million people came back to work, we would have a completely different country.
Can you imagine 10 million extra people in this country paying tax?
Yeah.
Paying national insurance, not using benefits. So that's like a double whammy save there.
It's a double. You're right. It actually goes both ways. It goes two ways.
So suddenly they're paying in, but they're not taking out. That's a double saving there.
Yeah.
And then would we have to then keep importing millions of foreigners? We've got 10 million people not working in this country.
Yeah.
That's your employment market there.
I don't think many people are aware of that number.
No, they're not.
Or understand how important it is.
Because you only hear the official unemployment figure.
Yes.
And that's why governments have always done this, because unemployment at the moment, was it 2-3 million?
Oh, is that what they're saying it is?
So yeah.
That's bollocks.
We know it's bollocks.
Yeah.
But they get to say, official unemployment figures, there's only 2-3 million. And compared to the size of our economy, that's quite low.
So what they probably do is, if the employment numbers are, by the way, the unemployment numbers have gone up. I think they've gone up 50,000 in December.
Yeah, they have.
But if they start to go up, I better say, stick a few more on sickness benefits. Stick a few more on sickness benefits.
That's what
that'll keep our numbers down.
That's what all governments from the 80s have done.
Yeah. But in fact, the answer is to stop those benefits, isn't it? Get people back to work.
It's complicated, but in a nutshell, yes.
Is it complicated?
Yeah.
If we're seeing what's happening across the pond, is it complicated, this stuff?
It's it's all complicated because it's you have to be a politician, because you can come up with some great policies like we're swapping benefits for all these people. All it takes is a week later to have TV crews on the streets and homeless people with children and families sat there going, my benefits were stopped, I've been kicked out, and everybody then will change their mind and we go back to where we were. So
no, they won't, because nobody watches mainstream TV anymore.
It needs managing, so that's a complicated bit. But the solutions are very simple. You make benefits less attractive, you have to take people off it, and you have to have jobs available and training available for them to take. But the vast majority of people have to be pushed into employment and training because they won't do it voluntarily.